Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode number 6 of Yellow Wall India podcast, where we talk about Dortmund. We discuss with Dortmund fans across the globe, and it's always about Dortmund. This week, we have a special guest, but before starting, I think so, many of you know about the sad news of Aniket passing away, and we really had a shock. It was really a shocker for all of us, and it's been a pretty terrible week considering those things. So Aniket was a close friend and a very good guy to interact with. So it was a very terrible news to know about Aniket, and from the Yellow Wall India, we have tried to really give him the respect from our side and share our love which we have for him, and it will always be there. And big thanks to the club and everyone for really coming together during the difficult time. And Aniket will always be a part of Yellow Wall India, and that's how we as a club wanted to start this podcast, dedicating this episode to him. And yes, Aniket, you will always be a part of our club and part of our family for sure. So slowly coming back to the football, today we have Chirantha from Yellow Wall Sri Lanka. From Yellow Wall India to Sri Lanka, we are talking to him. He's currently in Vienna, Austria, and he's been supporting Dortmund from 12-13 season, and it was really fun. Was interacting with him earlier as well, and yes, as we all have been a follower of Dortmund during Klopp time, he also associates with the Klopp era a lot and with the identity which we have. And yeah, I'll hand over to Chirantha to talk about Yellow Wall Sri Lanka and about himself a bit.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank everyone from the Yellow Wall India for giving us the opportunity, the Borussia Dortmund Fan Club of Sri Lanka, to participate in your podcast session and also to share our views among the fans. Also, I would like to convey our condolences regarding your recent loss. It's always sad to lose a colleague and also a faithful fan of our beloved club. I myself been a fan since 2012-13, yeah, the so-called club era. But I couldn't really find any fellow fans during that time. But somehow after a few years, I found a few other followers of Borussia Dortmund through several Facebook groups, and we had our unofficial group formed since 2017-18, but then afterwards we kind of formed the official followers or supporters group of Borussia Dortmund club in Sri Lanka. And right now we have just more than 10 fans for following and supporting Borussia Dortmund. And hopefully, I think we will grow our numbers in near future. Yep.
That's great to hear, and I'm sure the number when it comes to Dortmund fan isn't a big thing because the passion is bigger than the clubs which are definitely there, and that's what Dortmund fans are known for, following the club in and out. So it's great to know about the journey and how Yellow Wall Sri Lanka is created. So slowly coming to the games which we had and the weeks which have gone by, I think so, Chirantha, there has been a lot of things which has happened from the time when Favre also got sacked. I think so. I feel like it's been more than a year or 2, 3 months that's how the Dortmund has been really going in a phase right now which they are. What do you feel about the current situation which we are in right now?
Well, I think right now we are kind of in like a transition period. Uh, we just had a new interim coach or manager for our club. We just got rid of our former coach, and I think everybody's kind of getting used to this new situation, players and fans alike. But I think the new coach and the team after the Favre era has done a decent job, in my opinion.
I feel that there has been good progress. You can see the changes which our new coach is trying to bring, but I still feel that there's a long way to go. And definitely, he has also mentioned the same thing. There is about the lack of time, the calendar which we have packed. He's also not able to play completely with the whole team. Like before I think so, the Eintracht game of Pokal, he said that a day before that was the first time he had practiced with the whole team. So calendar has been an issue, I think so as well, and definitely it is something with which we have to work now. The games will be coming on quickly now, and definitely there are a lot of things which are there lined up for us. What do you feel about the changes? How do you feel our new coach has been doing? I mean, it's still a very yeah, early days for this, but do you see any change, or what do you see of the team right now?
Well, this new coach, Edin Terzic, he himself is kind of new to this coaching career, and although I have a lot of respect and belief in our new coach, he himself hasn't proved anything much significantly so far, and we hopefully will see that he will prove something in near future. So right now we just don't know what exactly will happen in the next half season or the in the next seasons to come. But so far, I think as a young coach, he has a really good connection with the players. Uh, Players like the senior players like Hummels, they were kind of complaining about Favre for not having that much of good interaction with the players,
Hmm.
not having that player coach bond. I think Terzic will fill that void and will have a good relationship with the players and management alike, and eventually, hopefully, with the fans. So I think he has an open road to follow, and hopefully he will bring the glory that we expect in our club.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, considering the situation which we were in and the reactions which player gave, it was, yeah, I think so. It was needed, but it shouldn't have happened if you ask me in middle of the season. And but Zorc said that their sporting goals were taking a hit, and they had to take the decision, even though it was a tough one for them. But yeah, it's an homegrown team which we have right now. Yesterday we had our own academy striker who was playing pretty good. If you ask me, he was pretty good yesterday. So there were a lot of things to take up. But overall, what do you feel about the situation? Like, do you feel the team is exhausted? The situation of defense, because earlier the Dortmund really had a good start. They had clean sheets after clean sheets and had a best defense record at that time. But suddenly everything has fallen apart. So do you feel the schedule or the team has really got tired now? Do you see that also affecting up?
Well, during this pandemic situation, everything is not really normal. Everything that's happening in terms of sports is not really normal. So players, I think they are going through some extra work rather than just training and preparing for the game. So, and plus the calendar year was so fully booked, so I think the players were quite exhausted by the end of the year. I think that really affected our performance. But it's not just us, but any other team which were playing in the same league are going through the same situation. So that shouldn't be an excuse, in my opinion. Anyways, it's not just at the defense, but at throughout this the whole team. I think the players have players are lacking their passion to give a fight and win the games and seek for trophies. That I think that's something that we missed in the Favre's time, and hopefully our new interim coach Edin Terzic will give that spark, will give that spark inside the players to go beyond just playing games and hopefully bring some trophies in the end.
Yeah, I think so. Considering the trophies, I think so yesterday it was very interesting to know what he was saying. He said that if you ask me right now about the long-term goal, it's way apart right now. And he's also taking it one step at a time. I don't think so anyone expected Dortmund to really fall flat like this suddenly. But I think so, as you said rightly, that the schedule has been packed, and I think so it's slowly starting to creep up now. The players, you can see the exhaustion on their faces as well. They're looking tired. There isn't any movement of the ball. They have been forced to move. Yesterday also when we saw in the game, they were forced to move a lot of the ball. So that has been an issue. And good thing is that our coach has recognized those things. Time is something which is not with us right now. And as you said, the circumstances aren't usual that you have fans to push, and that is also one factor which is there. So these are interesting times, and let's see where it takes us. Talking about the Berlin game which we had first, do you see any difference? Like when I see Berlin game and also the Lazio game and also the Stuttgart game, I don't see much difference in the approach with other teams are doing now. I think so. There's that similar approach. Berlin was smart that they choked the midfield completely for us, and because we were also not having any good movement of the ball, it didn't help us. But do you see these things coming up slowly and becoming a trend now, which has to be addressed now?
Yeah, I think as everybody is aware of, we already have some problems in our defense. Plus, we have some other problems like we are having so many injuries with our players. So and the rest of the players who are capable of playing are actually tired by the end of the season. So there's not much of rotations going on, and that really has affected throughout all these games. And with the situations that's happening at the management level, that really affects the mindset of the players. Plus, I think there as a team which consists of lots of young talent, there's always rumors going around these players, especially around Haaland, Sancho, and Reina, and so on.
Yeah.
So I think this mental factor is also affecting the players, and those all these things are kind of reflecting at the games. That's what I think that's happening around our team at this moment. Anyways, Union Berlin is a really good team as well. They were relegated some time back, and then they came to the top tier in the last season. And right now they are just behind us in the table as well, as far as I know. And they're actually doing really good in this throughout this season. So they are not a small team anymore. They are a fighting team who can fight for the Champions League spot or the or the Europa League spot. So that I think we kind of thought that it's easy to beat teams like Union Berlin, and that's I think that's another thing which happened. And
Yeah.
hopefully we will end up at least at the top four by the end of the season. That's my hope.
Yeah, I think so. That's the realistic hope which anyone would have right now, considering the point gap which is there now. Only Leipzig and Bayer are there who can really push it and challenge Bayern right now. That would be interesting. But yeah, you were talking about defense, and I think so. Arun had asked that question to us as well, that the defense is an issue right now. And I was also saying that we have started leaking a lot of goals now. You could see the frustration which was there on Hummel's face and the reaction which he gave. Things that was very frustrating post the Berlin game. So, like, I'll put you on spot on this, and I'll ask you: do you see, like, as a coach, what do you see what we can do now to fix the defense issue right now? Because we only have a week now left as a break. We start again next year. I think so in January first week only. What do you see? What we can do as a team to now please start putting a break on conceding the goals?
Well, there's only two things that you can do in that case. One is to go for transfers. We either sell some of our players and then buy some defenders. The other thing we can do is uh, to make the players become real good defenders. For an example, we have this guy Sagadu. He's just back from injury. I think in my opinion, he's a good prospect,
Yeah,
and I think he can really help Hummels to build up a good defense. Because I don't really want to blame any player personally, but I think Akanji's numbers aren't really that great in this season, and I've seen that many people are putting the blame on him. So with these pandemic times, fan-supported clubs like Dortmund, Barcelona, they are really having troubles with their financial situation. So I don't see that we will be bringing any really good versatile defenders in the upcoming transfer window. So the
mm,
only option we right now has to do or can do is to develop our own talent, players like Sagadu, to become proper solid defenders. Plus, we can also adapt players like Emre Can or like Emre Can. We can also take the help from these players to help to build our defense and block those leaks that we are having. Because I personally feel really bad for Berkey. I think he's
yeah,
doing an amazing job,
yeah,
but in the end, when you see the results, it's always a loss, or
yeah,
we have already conceded some unnecessary goals. I,
yeah,
w- I really feel bad for Berkey, because both our goalkeepers, Berkey and also Heats, they both are doing a really amazing job. So I think the defenders would take more responsibility in the upcoming half of the season, and they would really help the team achieve what we are supposed to achieve.
yeah. The Stuttgart game, I think so. He was pretty good, even though the goals, the number doesn't justify. But I think so. We could have been a lot worse had he not been there between the goals. So that was pretty. I know. I agree with you in that sense that the losses are overshadowing his performance, and whenever we lose, the first person to be blamed was Burki. I think so. He should be given credit when it's due that he's been performing pretty good and consistently with for us now, and he has stepped up. So it's sad thing that defenders are not there to help him. But I agree with you. Zagadou should be getting more chances, and being back from injury, I think so he'll be slowly getting into the system. That's what is important. Yesterday we saw him playing regularly in the playing 11, so that was good thing to see. And hopefully Hummels also gets some rest because I think so he's also carrying some niggles, and he has to play actually because he's the only good defender which we have right now. But do you feel Chan can be an option considering he was there in back line when we had conceded against Stuttgart as well? Do you see him as an option of defender?
Well, he performs better in the midfield, but when we need to do a rotation, I think we also can use the knowledge, the versatility Chan is having, but he's not a permanent solution. I would just say that he's a temporary solution uh, until we get rid of these financial and all these situations, until we find another proper defender. Also, I just wanted to mention that we have really good fullbacks like Rafael Guerrero or Mateo More. Rafael Guerrero is really, really underrated. He's also doing an amazing job. And I think those guys plus the defensive midfielders like Delaney, they can also help build up our defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Delaney is someone who should be playing a lot for Dortmund. I think so. He is in a very good form. So is Mo Daoud. And yesterday also Brandt was also in a good form. He should have been given more time to play because we don't have any games after this for a week. So I think so. He should have been given more time. He was there. He was just unlucky, if you ask me. Otherwise, he was doing pretty good. And yeah, Mo and Delaney should be played more often now, considering if we want some good midfielders rotating the ball along with Brand. So that is for sure a thing. But yesterday, a very interesting thing happened. Sancho scored, and I think so it broke the drought which he was also chasing, and he was trying to overcome that thing. Arun had asked this question as well about the form of Sancho. Like, do you feel like there are a couple of things? First is that do you feel that club should have sold him and you would have used those money for something else? I think so. No one could see the future, and considering the past performance, club took a decision. But do you feel that club should have sold him at the beginning because he is completely lost right now when you see his performance?
Well, I would not completely agree to that. I mean, what exactly on in Sancho's mind is something that we don't know. Whether he was with the management and then then decide. And as long as he's not leaving, as long as he's wearing the black and white black and yellow jersey, he is still our player. So he should know that, and he should play up to his potential, and he should give his best at the field. And also Sancho was kind of the talk. Apart from Haaland, he was the hype in the last season. And in this season, I think I don't really remember the numbers, but he didn't score in 15 or 16 games. He
Yeah, 17,
was
I think
having
so.
very few assists as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it was pretty bad
yeah,
numbers when comparing to the last season. But in the last Pokal game, I think he did really good. Even before scoring the goal, he was better than the previous Bundesliga games. He's missing lots of chances to create better goals because he always wants to dribble.
yeah,
That's something I always notice in Sancho. I mean, Sancho is a natural born street footballer. He likes to dribble.
yeah,
That's his good talent. But when it comes to big leagues, your talent is not enough. you need to score goals. The team needs to score goals. You need to win. You can be good, you can be the best dribbler in the world, but if your team is not winning, that's not the end results the management or the fans expect from you. So in that case, I think Sancho, he's a kid, he's a young player, but he has come a long way, and he should act like a mature player now, and he should be responsible of the mistakes that he's doing. And I think he's already aware of these things, and I think hopefully he will be more responsible in the upcoming games, and yeah, he will do as he used to do, hopefully.
But do you feel that he should be continued to be put in the playing 11, considering the form and the way he's performing right now? Do you still feel that maybe he should be given some breather and maybe someone else should take up the time or the place in playing 11 instead of Sancho?
I mean, you can always replace one player with another, and then again you have to think what can affect the replaced player, the mentality, the play, the performance that he used to have. In that case, I think it would be the best solution would be to rotate him with another player, a possible player, and still give him some chances. If in case if he wants to leave in future, let's say in the next season, why don't we use him until that? Why don't we get the maximum out of him until that? So I don't see anything wrong in playing him at the first till there at Dortmund. Also give him enough chances. Plus, rotation is also quite important, because in case if he wants to leave, or if he is leaving out of nowhere, when he says that, okay, I'm gonna leave Dortmund, just like Godse did. If you remember, just before a Champions League game, he just said that, okay, I'm gonna leave Dortmund, and that really affected Klopp
Yeah,
leaving Dortmund as well. So these things have consequences. So I think in that case, we always should have a replacement. For Haaland, we now have two replacements, which are really, really good replacements, which are academy players. And I think we should have the same for Sancho and all the other playing 11 the players.
I think so. We still need a lot of backup when it comes to playing in the wings. I think so. Other than Sancho and Reina, I don't see anyone else. I think the Hazard came yesterday, but I think so. He's again injured. The way he was playing at the back of the game, and I think so. We need a lot of wingers as well. Maybe Rafael can play as a winger if he can be tried, and in win back you can have Paslak as well as an option. So I think that there are a lot of possibilities to give Sancho a break right now, and I think so those are the things which we have to consider because um, because we need results and we need key players like him and Brand to really come and perform for us. That's pretty something which has to be looked up to. So let's talk about the upcoming games. And as we enter into the final segment, the upcoming games, I think so it's pretty packed right now. We have Wolfsburg, we have Leipzig, then we have Mainz, then Leverkusen, and then Mönchengladbach. So I think the January is something which is packed, completely packed with top teams right now, and we have to beat them if we have to climb up. So where do you see Dortmund, considering the games and the time which we had? How much confident are you as a fan, as a supporter, with these games which are coming?
Well, to be honest, it's quite challenging to be a fan of the Borussia Dortmund at these difficult times. But we always should have our positivity, and we should always have our faith on our managers, the management, and also the players as fellow fans. And I, as you said, the upcoming games are can be quite challenging. Leipzig, Leverkusen, Gladbach. Yeah, then we have Champions League in, I think, in February. So
Yeah,
these are quite challenging games. But on the other hand, I see these big battles as good opportunities. We
yeah,
can, this is the right time to take over. We can if we can beat Leipzig, Gladbach or Leverkusen, and yeah, also get through to the Champions League. I think we all, as a team, as a coach, as a management, Borussia Dortmund can really prove themselves that we are good enough. We are good enough to be in the Champions League. We are good enough to be in the top four of the Bundesliga. We are good enough to always challenge Bayern and always go for the trophies. So I think we are having a good opportunity in the upcoming 1 or 2 months. We ourselves have the chance to prove. Yeah.
yeah. I think so. What I'll say is that let's hope that bad things have already happened in 2020, and 2021 is completely a different ball game. I know nothing will completely change all of a sudden within a week, but you're right that mindset and approach is important, and as a fans, it's important for us also to keep supporting the club in and out during the difficult phases as well. So I'll just ask you a couple of things. As a fan, what do you want? How will you sum up the 2020 year for Dortmund? And considering the previous year also, previous season also, which we had, where we were so close, and we had Bayern as a team, which was the decider, and then this season, the ride which we went through. And what do you expect? The second is, what do you expect from 2021 from Dortmund?
Well, being realistic, Bayern has always been our top contender, our challenger. And right now, we also have some other teams who are also competing for the same position, like Leipzig and also Leverkusen. They are also doing pretty good. So I think we have to improve a bit more to challenge Bayern and give them a good fight. Yesterday, I saw some stats about how we played throughout the 2020, and I saw that we have like around 12 losses and 27 wins and only 2 draws, and that's quite interesting because throughout all these competitions, Bundesliga, Champions League, Pokal, whatever, we only have 2 draws,
Yeah,
which is quite low. In my personal opinion, if we could have converted some of those 12 losses into some draws at least, we
yeah,
would be in a much better position by the end of the year.
yeah,
27 wins is a really good percentage. It's a really good number, but also 12 losses is a bad for a top team which is always in the Champions League. 12
yeah,
losses is bad. So I think if we could have had the chance to convert some of these losses, some of these last minute unnecessary goals, if we could have avoided those circumstances, we would have like, let's say 5, 6, or 7 draws, and the overall picture would have been much different by the end of the year.
yeah,
Another thing I noticed on the Bundesliga that we always lose to very, uh, let's say, not that great teams. For an example, we lost to Union Berlin. We all expected to win, but we lost.
hmm,
And in the last season also, we lost to some teams which just came back from the relegation.
yeah. Berlin was also there in that.
Exactly. So and for the teams like Leverkusen, Gladbach, we were doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah,
Bayern, of course, we had some losses in between, but with the other top teams like Leverkusen, Gladbach, we were doing pretty good actually,
Yeah,
but we were really bad with smaller teams,
yeah,
with the teams with less capacity.
yeah.
And if also we could have avoided that, by the end of the year, the numbers would have been different, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. You are right in that sense. And it's very interesting that last time I think so we had more draws and the losses had started to happen at the later stage. I think so the Bayern games were the two which I remember which we lost. Otherwise, it was more of the draws which had costed us the title, if you ask me, especially the Leipzig game which we drew after being in a very good situation. This time it just went south and we started losing the games which we, I think so, could have, as you said, could have drawn and also had drawn at past as well. So I think so there are things like this which are there, and that's how 2020 is, that it has gone from bad to worse for us in in that sense. But what do you think about 2021? What do you feel in 2021? What will it bring for Dortmund?
Uh, in terms of financial capabilities and other management perspectives, I think we are not in a really good position, to be honest. But I always have the positivity towards our team. And the first thing I would expect in 2021, to have the fans at the stadium. We are really missing that, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
12th man or the fans, the Yellow Wall has been always the supporter, has always pushing our team towards the
Hmm.
winnings. They always, if if we concede a goal, they always start to chant and then push the team, and they were always being the 12th man for us, and we are really missing that. And in 2021, hopefully, I'd love to see some fans at the stadium. And also regarding this new coach, I again have the positivity. I hope he will succeed, even though he's just our interim coach at the moment. Just like Hansi Flick did at Bayern, I think Edin Terzic can repeat the same at Dortmund and bring us some glory. And in the end, in 2020, I really expect us to win some silverware. Yeah.
Yeah, true to being a Dortmund fan, Chirantha really summing it up nicely. I think the optimism is something which we have to take. And I'm also pretty optimistic about our new coach. He has that factor which differentiates. He's speaking the right things till now, and it's about implementation. And he's raw, no one knows about him that much. So that is something which is good in a way, and something for all of us to look forward to. So hopefully, yeah, as I said, the 2020 was something which was a mess in every sense. Hopefully, 2021 brings a lot of good things to cherish, and we can maybe start the month on a victory. That would be great, because then we'll be through on many aspects, because beating top teams is always a big thing. So let's hope for that. And with this, we come to the end of our podcast episode. Wishing everyone Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And you can connect always with us. You can always post the questions, comments, which we are getting regularly. Thank you for that. At Yellow Wall underscore India, at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Till then, thank you very much, Chiranta, for joining us and for discussing and for giving your viewpoints.
Yeah, thanks for inviting to your podcast, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And hopefully we will see some trophies in the next year.
Yeah, definitely. That's the wish which we all as fans would definitely have, and let's hope for that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers.